member of the faculty in the Department of English Theater and Speech at Bethany College, a member of the Board of Directors of the Historical Association, and director of its Oral History Project. Today, November 8, 1985, we are speaking with Ellen Bachman, Mrs. David Bachman, who lives here at 411 West State Street in Lindsborg. Ellen and her husband, David Bachman, for a number of years operated the Bachman Ice Cream Factory in Lindsborg. We are very pleased that Ellen has agreed to talk about her ancestors in the Smoky Valley, and in particular about the ice cream factory. She will be interviewed by Dr. Dwayne Fredrickson, and his wife Nancy will be operating the video camera. Our thanks to them too. It may be that Ellen's half-sister Hilda Eck will also participate in the conversation. Dwayne.
Thank you. Ellen, it's a pleasure for us to be here today in your home and to be able to visit with you about some of your early history and history of your ancestors. I'd like to talk a little bit first about your father, Frank Oscar Lieberg. Can you tell me something about why he came from Sweden and where he came?
Why he left Sweden?
Yes.
Well, it was because of the military. So many did that, to get out of the military. They had to. And that was one reason he left. Otherwise, I don't know.
What province in Sweden did he come from? Where did he come from?
From Västergötland.
How old was he?
About 20.
And he came to the United States through New York, or?
Yes, and he had a cousin there whose name was Johnson, but he had taken the name of Lieberg because he said, we'll never get any mail if we don't change our name. So he went by Lieberg. My father took that name.
How did he get to Kansas, into the Smoky Valley?
I don't know. I suppose just by train or what. And he came to his uncle's place west of Coronado Heights.
I think you
there a few weeks or months, whatever it was, then went to Kansas City.
I think you have a picture of him here, and I'll let you show that to the camera while I move. Can you tell us something about this picture, or how old he was, and when it was taken?
I don't know anything about it.
Was he, this was before he got married, or?
I think so.
Where was he living then?
What?
Where was he living at the time the picture was taken?
Well, I think Kansas City.
And what did he do in Kansas City?
Well, he spent a lot of time as a foreman for the Wyandotte Gas Company. Kansas City is in Wyandotte, And it was in the days when they were laying the gas pipes. As before they began to dig ditches by machinery, it had to be done by hand. And he would employ up to 40 men. And he was in that work for quite a while. And later, I think he became a policeman. But he didn't stay with that very long.
He had relatives here in Lindsborg, you mentioned. Did he come out? He had relatives here in the Smoky Valley.
Oh, yes, relatives here and relatives in Kansas City.
Did he come to visit here quite often?
No, well, yes. A couple of times a year, perhaps.
And then how about your mother?
She died when I was 5, so she didn't do much traveling around. I was a third child.
How about, where did she come from in Sweden?
She came from Östergötland.
And how old was she when she came from Sweden?
Around 18, I think.
And she came to this area too?
She had sisters here in this country.
In the Smoky Valley area?
No, not here, but in Kansas City.
Okay.
And they settled there when they got married.
But did she first come to this area? When she came to the United States, did she come to the Smoky Valley? to visit?
No, she went right to Kansas City because she had 2 sisters there and 2 brothers.
How did your parents meet?
Well, that I don't know. I just don't know.
When we've talked before, you mentioned that your father didn't have to stay in the community house. He had relatives to stay here.
No, that was my father-in-law.
Father-in-law.
That homesteaded and built a little stone house from the stone and the rock from the hills.
What was a community house? I've never heard of this expression.
What was his occupation?
What was a community house that you talked to me before
that
about?
was a Bolagshuset. Swedish Bolagshuset.
And what was it? Where was it located?
Right east of Corona Heights.
And what was its purpose?
Well, there were so many that came that and no place to stay, so they must have had a large house or whatever, I don't know. So they all piled in there when they came from Chicago, I guess. Dr. Olson was at the head of it.
You had several brothers and sisters?
My father?
Yes.
No, he didn't have any brothers, but he had 2 sisters.
Okay, and how about you? How many brothers and sisters did you have?
I have two brothers, they're gone, and 4 sisters, or we're 4 girls, 3 sisters.
Do you have a picture of them that you could show us?
No,
I think there is one over here.
I don't believe so.
This one here?
That would be the only one. That's a snapshot.
You want to show it to us? Can you tell us who they are?
Yes, it's my sister Anna and Hulda and Hilder and myself, and then the 2 boys, Gus and Pete.
And how many of them stayed in this Smoky Valley and lived here?
None of them lived in Smoky Valley, except my husband and I, and Hulda and her husband. The others were all in Kansas City.
Gus was here too. Gus.
Gus was here?
What?
Was Gus here? Lived here? Hilder says that Gus lived here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was raised as a boy here. That's right. When our mother died, an aunt took him and our older sister and raised them. That's right.
And
another aunt took my youngest brother, who was 15 months old, and raised him. So it was just my sister Anna and I that were at home with my father and stepmother.
In Kansas City. I'll let you put the picture down now. You don't need for a minute. We might talk about your husband and about his family, how they came from Sweden.
Well, they were with the same crowd as the Olson. Dr. Olson was a leader of quite a group that came over from Värmland. They were both from Värmland. And they went right to Chicago. And from then on, I don't know just how they got here, but.
What was your husband's father's name?
Bachman.
His first name was
Peter
Bachman.
Peter Bachman.
And where did he farm or homestead?
He was a farmer when he got here, but he was a miller in Philipsstad, Värmland. His father had a mill there, and there was a couple of boys, and they worked in the mill.
Where did they locate here in the valley?
Well, it was about, I would say, 2.5, 3 miles from the community house.
Was it in the Rose Hill area?
In the Rose Hill area, that's right.
How big a farm was it, or?
Well, he had 80 acres, and his brother-in-law had 80 acres. But his brother-in-law didn't farm, so he had to have the 160 acres. And the boys were quite young when they took home the work on the farm.
And then David Bachman was your husband.
Yeah. And then Sam was another one, and had a young brother that died. His name was Reuben. And there was 5 girls.
Are any of those ancestors living on the farm?
Uh-huh.
Are any of them living still on the farm area?
No.
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 How did you meet your husband, David?
Well, because we were separated, my sister and I would come out for vacation in the summertime and visit with her. And at that time, she was engaged to Sam Bachman, and that's how I met David.
Okay. And then how long did you know him before you got married then?
We got married in 1910.
And then moved right here to the farm?
Well, no, we lived in town for a while. And then we moved out because the folks were getting old. So something had to be done about that. We moved out to the farm. And we were there 7 years.
Now, did you build a home there?
What?
Did you build a home on the farm, a new
It
house?
was already built. That is, when I got here, it was built. This stone house, and they had added rooms to it. Kitchen, living room, bedroom.
See, do you have a picture of that farm house?
Oh,
I think you have a picture of the house there.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Could you show it to
Well,
us?
that's where Hildred was born. The house in Kansas City.
No.
This picture right
Oh,
here.
yeah, that's where my daughter was born, where Maxine was born.
They built the house.
Now, did you build that house?
And we did.
Your husband and you?
No, we had a carpenter, but I mean, we built it, had it built. And when my daughter was 6 weeks old, we moved to town, and I've lived here ever since.
What brought about your moving to town? What were the reasons for you moving?
He was going, he bought 40 acres at the edge of town, thinking that he'd put up a dairy, but it never came to pass.
I'll take his picture now for you.
And he went into the ice cream business. Just how he did. Why and how, I don't remember that so much, but he did. And was in there for over 30 years.
Getting back to the farm, how did you like farm life?
Not at all.
What were the things you didn't like?
What
were the things you didn't like about being on the
Well,
farm?
I was afraid. There wasn't any close neighbors, and it seemed like, well, I was just scared, that's all. I wasn't happy on the farm.
What was it like to wash your clothes or to...
Well, it was, there was no convenience in those days at all. And it was far to go to town. It was over 3 miles, which isn't far nowadays, but it was then. Horse and buggy.
How did you wash your clothes? By hand or...
What?
How did you wash your clothes?
Oh, on the board.
On the
Wash
board.
them on the board, uh-huh.
What did you use for heating your house?
Well, we had a heating stove in the living room and a big range in the kitchen. That's how we heated the house.
And what did you burn? Wood or coal?
Both wood and coal. The boys always saw, so there was a big wood pile. We had a hedge fence, and they always trimmed that in the fall and chopped wood.
And And how about your lighting in your house, in the farm?
Lamps, coal oil lamps.
And that involved a lot of work cleaning those every night or every day?
Yeah. But when one is young, you don't notice it, and yet I was afraid anyway.
So you were glad to move to Lindsborg.
Yes.
And what year was that?
1919.
And then when did you first start your business? In the
Start to what?
the business, ice cream.
Oh, that same year, in the spring.
How did you do that? How did you start it?
Well, I couldn't tell you the beginning of it, but he had there's a young man from Chicago that came through and wanted a job, and he said he knew all about ice cream, which I don't think he did, but they learned together, and they made ice cream just for the use in the business they were in. It was where Olson's Cafe used to be, where the Prairie Woods is now. And so David just took it over. And he talked Mr. Stockenberg into trying the ice cream. And he liked it so well that he was his first customer all summer long. And then the townspeople became acquainted with it too that way, so that's how the business grew.
Did your husband David, did he always like to make ice cream, or
Yes.
was that a hobby or something he
well,
enjoyed?
yes, he was happy in his work. He made butter too, had a milk round cream. And I think I told you last time that he sold sweet cream. He was the first person to sell sweet cream in bottles, in half-pint bottles, to Runbecks. And then, of course, others started in too. But it was in connection with the factory, the ice cream factory.
So then after you were in the Olson's Cafe, you moved to another building then?
Well, yes.
Can you tell about that?
Where the laundromat is now was the building that he had built. And that was about 21 or 22, I think. He was in business across the tracks with M.T. Blomgren for a while. So he had a place set up there, and he had a good business. And then he decided to go in for himself entirely and had this building built.
What kind of equipment did he have there to make ice cream? Do you remember?
What kind of one?
What kind of equipment?
Well, he had
Describe it.
the regular ice cream maker, they called it. And of course he had to have pasteurized milk, so he had an equipment for that. And I think I told you that it was during the height of the season he made as much as 100 gallons a day, including sherbets.
Did you have electricity at first?
Yes. Everything was modern down there. Water, electricity, and everything. The machinery and all. He had a big churn that he made the butter into.
But when you started, you had electricity at the beginning.
What?
You had electricity at the beginning?
Electrical?
In 1920, did you have electricity then?
1921 or 2. 21, I maybe should be more reasonable.
How did they get the milk? How did you get your milk and cream?
We picked it up from the farmers. There wasn't very many that came in with it, but there was a few. But we had a route, and we had boys to pick it up.
What did they pick it up in? 10
Well,
gallon?
we had 5-gallon cans, and smaller ones too for the sweet cream.
And did they ever bring it in to you, or you always picked it
They
up?
brought it down to the creamery or the factory.
What did you do down at the factory? Did you have
Well,
a responsibility?
I didn't do much down there, but until the war broke out in the Second World War, we could get no help. Everybody went out to the base and got jobs out there. So I volunteered to go down there and help where I could. But it was hard work. We had, at that time, we had 20 different flavors of ice cream. And they came in by afternoon and evening. We were so terribly busy.
What was the most favorite flavor?
Well, everything from vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate on. And of course there was some that had favorites, for instance, like Harvest Moon and things like that.
Was your husband the one who developed new flavors?
Yes.
Would he experiment or try different things, or how did he do it?
Uh-huh.
How did he develop these new flavors?
Well, we sold in cones, pints and quarts, gallons, and so on. And the days they had picnics, why, it just went out. Everybody had to have ice cream.
Now,
Otherwise, it was shipped in, from Salina. But that was stopped.
Did you sell any other food, like sandwiches and things like that down there?
Well, we did when my son took over. His wife wanted a snack bar, so they had a place there for food, and I did they wanted home baked goods, so I did that for them. And that was quite a job too.
What year was that?
Well, let's see, 51.
51.
He came from Oregon with the intention of taking over the business. But, like I said, it was pretty hard because competition had started to set in terribly bad from the big companies. And the government also had their say-so about things when it comes to stainless steel pipes. Everything had to be stainless steel. And we had a lot of pipes. So they finally gave up on it. My son, I had it for a while, but he finally gave up on it.
When your plant was going at its best, how far away did you ship ice cream, or did you sell ice cream around the area?
The what?
How far away did people come to buy it, or did you sell your ice cream?
You mean how far away did people come?
And how far did you maybe sell it? Salina?
Oh, yeah. Well, we
Hudson?
had our own a little place in Salina for 2 summers, but that proved to be a little bit too much difficulty. But we sold it right down there, just where we were, because all of the stores in town had our ice cream, drug stores, cafes, grocery stores, as well as people away from town. We had a few customers out of town. McPherson, one of the druggists up there, a friend of ours, and I think we shipped out as far as, well, pretty far out west because of the train going that way then in those days. It was very simple, put it on the train, unloaded out there. We didn't have any route, no ice cream route.
So you didn't have a truck that would go out to town?
So many came in. I wouldn't say many, but quite a number came in with refrigerated trucks. They were pretty expensive at that time. So,
How many people did you employ down there at?
well, it depends on the season. In the summertime, there was a couple of extra people there. In the winter, we had the ice cream maker. We did get an ice cream maker finally. And he was there the year round, helping with the butter and other things. But like I said, in the summer, we had to have more help.
Did your children help work there? Maxine and Elliot, did they work there?
Well, yes. Yes, they both worked there. Maxine was in the office while she wrapped the butter and did what she could out in the big room. But she answered the phone and took care of some of the bookkeeping.
You mentioned that World War II brought some problems. You couldn't hire people. Were there any other problems in the World War II about supplies?
No. The only problem we had was the farmers wanted to quit milking. They had, I don't know, just, it seemed like they didn't raise chickens either like they used to. You know, they don't nowadays either. They buy their milk in town. Many of them do.
And the reason they wanted to quit milking was maybe farming was easier, selling wheat was easier than milking cows.
What?
The reason they didn't want to milk was a lot easier to sell their wheat and farm.
Well, I don't know the reason. I guess they thought they was having too much to do with the farm work.
Would you have to ship in milk from somewhere else then?
Well, no, we didn't. We managed somehow. We had some pretty good customers who had a number of cows, so we got along there. But it was nip and tuck sometimes too.
Do you remember anything about any of the employees, people who work for you? Any special stories?
No, Bill Carlson worked for us a while.
Busy.
He washed bottles.
Well, he washed bottles.
And there are several, but I think several of them died since then.
How about Betty?
Betty.
Betty George? Did Betty George work for you? Did Betty George work for you?
Who?
Betty George?
Oh, yeah, she was in the office.
She worked.
Yes.
So you probably hired a lot of high school students or young people?
What?
You hired quite a few young people
Well,
then?
yes, especially in the summertime.
Summer jobs.
And then after school, too, sometimes.
Did you have ice cream at home very much?
Who?
Did you have ice cream at home?
Oh, quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was an easy dessert.
What was your favorite flavor?
Well, I can't say just exactly. I like the vanilla that my husband made, strawberries. And we used to go down to Saloon and buy the strawberries by the crate. And it was my job to get them all fixed up for ice cream. So I think one of the favorites would be strawberry.
Now you closed down the business about 1952.
Well, that's when my husband retired, 1952.
And then Elliot
And
continued
Elliot
it.
took over, and I don't remember just how long he stayed on. His wife died, and he married a girl, Solana, and she was a school teacher. So he was traveling back and forth. Got to be too much for him, I guess.
The other thing you mentioned was a lot more government restrictions.
What?
You mentioned government restrictions on your business.
Well, no, I can't say that. It was just things that they demanded that we had and so on. We had to get a new we had to get a new ice cream freezer just before we sold out. But it was wearing down, and they were very particular. But and our milk products were exceptionally good because the examiner, whatever you call it, would come in about once a month, get a sample without us knowing when he was coming, and he always got top grade on it.
But basically, you just got too much for Elliot to keep up with. Basically, it was just too much for Elliot to do
Yes,
in order
I
to keep the
suppose,
business going. Do you remember anything special about the people who bought ice cream from you? Were there any particular customers who you especially remember?
No, I don't remember that.
Elder, do you remember?
Yeah, I was going to say, every time we go to Salina to eat in some of the restaurants up there, somebody comes up and sees Ellen and says, "Oh, I never will forget when you sold so-and-so kind of ice cream cones and things like that when they went to Bethany College." And there's many of them that have come up to her and talked about the wonderful ice cream they had. So she gets kind of pleasure out of hearing about it.
Did they sell by a dish or just by cone? Did you sell by dish or cone primarily?
Well, no, we sold everything in all quantities.
No, by cone mostly.
Mostly by the
Those
cone.
days on until they got their little restaurant.
How much did it cost to get one dip of ice cream?
5 cents. That is, a cone was a nickel.
A nickel.
And did you know Mr. Berglund? No.
Little.
Well, anyway, my husband was in there one day, and he said, "I don't know what to think about it." He said, "The kids come in here and they say, fill them up like they do down at Bachman's."
And your ice cream was always just a nickel a dip.
Always a nickel. We never had any other price. And a pint was a quarter.
And a quart?
A quart was 50 cents, and they were paper cartons, you know.
You sell by half gallon too?
Yes, we had half gallons, and so many of the ladies would bring their trays over when they found out the day we was going to make ice cream, or the time we was going to make it. And then he would fill those trays for them, for their freezer. He'd have it frozen when they came to get them, and then they would put it in their freezer. So that was a new wrinkle too.
Okay, that's unusual.
Ellen, you used to tell me about the times you made special ice cream for weddings. One lady told you not very long ago
Oh,
that had her 50th wedding anniversary.
Mr. and Mrs. Berg celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. And she said that we made the ice cream for her wedding 50 years ago. And I didn't remember that. I didn't have much to do with it because I wasn't well at the time. So, but I could hear them talk about it.
Did you make a special wedding brand of ice cream?
Yes, they would have a stencil, you know, for roses or whatever they wanted. And they also had individual ice cream, you know, like a rose, pink or yellow or whatever. And they had green leaves. See, so they got on there. That were made of ice cream. No, whipped cream it was. And we had lilies at Easter time. They were beautiful, just beautiful. You wouldn't know but what they were real. And we had Santa Clauses at Christmas and other Christmas decorations too. The wreath, you know, holly wreath and so on.
Did your family follow any special holiday traditions, Swedish Christmas
Say what?
traditions? Did your family follow Christmas traditions?
Yes.
Swedish? Do you have a big meal Christmas Eve or that kind of thing?
Well, I don't remember much about it.
You had lutefisk. Ellen, you had lutefisk at Christmas.
What?
Lutefisk.
What?
You had lutefisk?
Oh, yes. You still do.
Do you remember making a big meal on Christmas Eve for your family?
Well, we always celebrated. Always Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, too.
Would you have ice cream then, too? With lutefisk?
Not necessarily. I think so. We had Ostkaka most of the time.
Did you ever sell Oostekaka in your
Yes, I
creamery?
made it. I made it for the snack bar.
Snack bar?
And I had so many orders that we had to put a limit. After the 21st, they couldn't get any. 21st of December, because I was just overloaded to make those cocktails. And I learned that from my mother-in-law.
Were there any other places in town selling Oostekaka or ice cream?
What?
Did you have any other places in town selling Oostekaka or ice cream?
Well, not at the stores. No, this was individual. And
Individual places, or how about your children, Elliot and Maxine? Where were they born?
they're on the farm.
Both on the farm.
Yeah, but they're gone now, both of them.
Both of them. Can you tell me a little bit about what it was like to raise a child on the farm?
Oh, Elliot loved the farm. He just thought that was. Of course, he had everything. He had rabbits. He had most anything he wanted. What they had on the farm, you know. And we never had to bother about potato bugs because he'd go down to the patch and pick them and put them in a can of oil, and then we paid him so much for each. I think every 10 bugs he'd get a penny. So he was busy when the potato bugs were busy. But he liked it on the farm.
Did he enjoy moving into Lindsborg, or
What?
did he enjoy moving off the farm and coming to town?
Well, he didn't say whether he did or not. He got acquainted with this little Jessie Lofgrip in the same grade, and she kind of took him under her arm. They'd walk to school together and so on. Yes, he liked school in town.
How about Maxine? Did she enjoy coming?
Maxine was always in town. She was 6 weeks old when we came in.
Was it easier in town to take care of the kids?
What?
Was it easier in town to do your housework?
Oh, yes, much easier.
In what way?
Well, everything was more convenient. Electricity, and running water, all the rest of it. Then finally we got gas, you know, so we converted our furnaces to gas and then bought gas stoves. So it was much easier to live in town.
What kind of activities were your children in school?
Well, Elliot went out for football when he was a freshman, and then he sang in the quartet. And Maxine didn't have any outside activities, but she was a good student anyway.
Did you or your husband or any of your children sing in the Messiah?
No. Maxine sang in Messiah a couple of years. So.
Did you or your husband have any hobbies other than your work?
No, not especially.
In your family?
No.
You You didn't like to quilt or sew?
Oh yes, I quilted a lot. It was quite the rage at that time to do a lot of quilting, piece quilts and so on. So I was in that too.
Maxine graduated from Bethany College.
She did. What year did you graduate from college?
No, Maxine.
Well,
excuse me,
you
Maxine.
see, she was a missionary, and she just had 1/3 of her furlough to be spent for education. So she was kind of, it took a long time. At 65, she graduated. By the way, she was, what is this? Cum laude or something like that. So she was a good student. But, and by the way, I might say that one semester she happened to be in Chicago because she graduated from the hospital there. And she went to Loyola, and she said she learned more there than she ever learned in college. You know, those nuns and sisters are dedicated. That's all they live for. And I'm telling you, they have to know, and they do get to know things that they don't get otherwise. They just can't do it. It's like the big colleges, you're a number there. At Bethany, you're an individual.
Did Elliot go to college? Did Elliot go to college?
No, he didn't. He didn't want to. He took some voice for a while, but he didn't care about college. And he was a very good student too. But
Do you have some pictures of your family here we can look at?
no, the only one is that where the three of us are.
I think you might show us this one here, or I think that's one with just Elliot.
And that's one is Elliot.
You want to hold it up? I'll let you hold this one up, maybe. Can you tell us who that is?
Ellen, you forgot to tell him Maxine was at the Asbury Hospital for a number of years.
Yes, they both
Come
have
back.
that.
Can you tell us who that is?
Oh, she was director of the nursing service at Asbury 5 years. And they gave her leave of absence to finish her college. Paid part of her tuition.
This picture you have here, who is this? The picture you have in your hand?
Well, that's Elliot and Maxine when they were small.
How old were they then?
Well, I don't know. I guess she was 4 or 5. There's 7 years between them.
Who took the picture?
Grendel.
Did you have your pictures taken regularly with him?
No, we didn't. We should have, but we didn't.
How about that picture there in your hand? Can you hold it to the camera?
This was taken in Salina by Mr. Stockenberg. But,
Did you hold it up to the camera here?
oh, I see. You want?
So they can look?
I didn't know they were taken.
You would just, we'll just hold it like this for a little bit here. And this is Elliot. How old is he?
About 5, 6.
All right.
Smart.
And then you have another picture here of,
And there he is.
I'll hold it up.
No, and this is the only one we had. Him.
How about this picture here?
Well, that was taken on Thanksgiving Day, 1957.
That's here in Lindsborg.
Hilder took that.
And he'd come back to work or still run the plant?
Oh, his wife was visiting out of town, and so he came up to our house to eat Thanksgiving dinner.
And how about this last picture here?
And that was taken just before she went the last trip to Africa. That was about about 1970, I think.
And what was she doing there?
Well, they had men, or she's no women. The women got married too early, so they had to draft the men to be nurses, and she was teaching them partly, and it was all in French. And of course, she had stopped in Belgium for 8 months to learn tropical medicine, and then she had the exams had to be in French. So, but she liked it. She loved it out there.
Did she write home quite often about her experiences?
Every week. And she was gone 12 years, including furloughs. So she was home part of the time, too.
What achievements of your children are you the most proud of?
What?
What achievements that your children have done are you the most proud of?
Oh, what I'm proud of? Well, I'm mighty proud of her life. And she resigned her position at KU Medical Center to come home and take care of me. Instead of that, we had a switch. And I couldn't take care of her because I was on a walker. But I was with her a lot. We had a lot of visits. But Elliot was just a common, ordinary, an awfully hard-working young man he was. But it seems like when cancer strikes, it doesn't make any difference what their ages are. So, and there was cancer in the Bachman family, 4 of them.
After your husband retired from the, after your husband retired, what did he do, or what did you do?
Well, he fixed up the house a little bit, painted, put a roof on, and had a big garden. And then he got anxious to do some kind of work, so he would wash bottles and cans and things like that from our son. Half a day, just to keep him busy. He didn't like to be retired. He was 77 when he retired. And he spent most of those years working hard. He was a hard worker.
Did you ever do any traveling together?
We went to California one spring with the Hilders, and we went to the Ozarks a few times, back and forth to Kansas City.
Did you ever return to Sweden to visit?
What?
Did you ever return to Sweden to visit?
No. Maxine went to Sweden.
Well, Ellen.
We wanted her to see the place where her grandparents were from, and so she was there 5 days because she was studying in Belgium at the time, and she took that many days off.
Hilder says that you were in Sweden in 1972.
That was my first trip.
Okay.
I celebrated my 80th birthday there in Sweden, and she had planned and fixed up a big party in an old, I call it a castle, I don't know if it was, but it was beautiful. So,
did you visit any?
I was in Denver for a while, and I traveled more than my husband did.
Did you visit any of your relatives in Sweden?
No. Did we?
No, yours were all gone. I had some on my husband's side. But
No,
Ellen
we
went
didn't
to
get around.
Chicago to see
We
my
didn't have a
son.
car, but we visited all of her relatives, her husband's relatives.
Do you have any other remember any other unusual events of early Lindsborg life that you can tell us?
No, I thought it was a wonderful place. Coming from busy Kansas City, where where if we sat on the front porch, we'd have to see so our back door was locked. And we didn't have to do that out here. And so it was quite a change, and I just loved it every minute of it. 75 years now.
When we visited here before, Ellen,
visited several times.
when we visited before, you told me a story about a teacher and the language. Do you remember that?
Yes. You don't want to hear it again?
Yes, I'd like to hear it again.
Well, I said, how come you was out in Fallen for, well, I think several terms, and you didn't pick up any of the lingo that they have there? And she said, oh, yes, I did. It's pretty shilly for the chickens to sit in the sherry tree.
So that was...
And then I had a girl who helped me with my work for a while, and she was born and raised north of town, and I was telling her something I had read, and she said, did it really stand that in the paper? Now, she was thinking Swedish, and it would have been correct, but she couldn't translate it and make it correct. Of course, she said, she could have said, did you read that in the paper? But did it stand that in the paper? Uh-huh. Oh, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with that.
Did you speak Swedish well?
What?
Did you speak Swedish? Do you speak Swedish?
Well, I think I speak quite well, because my father and mother-in-law couldn't understand English, so I had to learn, although I had been to Swedish school in Kansas City. My father wanted us to be able to write Swedish so we could write back to our grandmother in Sweden. And, but I never did that. And we didn't speak Swedish in our home. We didn't have to, because both parents were very well versed in the English language. But when I come out here, then they didn't understand what I was talking about. So I had to learn. And I think I've been a pretty good student in Swedish. I like it. I like to talk that language. I do.
Could you give us an example of it? Maybe say a short prayer or a table grace?
You're not Swedish.
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are.
Could you?
Well, you're one of these poor ones, I guess.
Could you do a table grace in Swedish?
Oh, yes, we had to do that.
Could you give me an example of it, or?
Jesu namn till bords vi går, välsignad Gud den bad vi får. I Jesu namn, amen. That was our table grace.
Yes.
And our children then took up where we left off.
Did they speak Swedish or learn Swedish? Maxine and Elliot?
What?
Did Maxine or Elliot ever learn Swedish?
Yeah.
They didn't, did they? That's good, yeah.
Did Maxine or Elliot ever learn Swedish and could speak it well?
No, they didn't, and I'm sorry. Of course, now it doesn't make a difference, but Maxine used to think she could speak Swedish, but she couldn't. And if her father and I would be talking, we used to talk in speak in Swedish just to keep up. And she said, if you have to talk so I can understand you. So I know that she couldn't even understand Swedish. And she knew a few words. I said that the only time I heard her speak well was on her way to her mission station in Africa. They had to stop at a place before they could travel on. And there they stopped at a Swedish mission station. And the name of it was Svenska Missionsförbundet. And she could say it perfectly. But that was all. She couldn't say it more.
We're about to close this interview. I was going to ask you if you had a lot of experience in ice cream making with your husband.
No.
Didn't?
I never did.
You didn't help much.
No.
I think you worked down there. You told me.
I worked down there, but I would help him fill the the cartons and write what was on inside, I might do that, but otherwise I didn't. No, I didn't do that.
Would you have any advice to anybody else going into business now?
I don't know whether he did or not. He didn't say. I didn't hear him say that.
I meant, do you have any advice that you would give to someone who's going into business now?
No, I don't. I wouldn't advise anybody, not in this day and age.
To go into the ice cream
No,
business?
it's too. No, it's too much red tape.
Well, it's nice being able to talk with you today, Ellen.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for taking time.
I need to correct something that I made in the introduction. Ellen lives at 411 East Saloon Street, not East State Street. And on behalf of the Smoky Valley Historical Association, we do indeed thank you, Ellen, for talking at length about your experiences in Lindsborg. We do appreciate it.
Well,
we thank you so much for talking about your
you're
experiences here in Lindsborg.
welcome.